Okay, this lesson focuses on creating a simple frame and adding fonts. So I have background in place. I pulled the color from what was already in the image. I have a duplicate and I want to again link these two together, not that one. So there we go. Again, just so in case I move one, the other automatically moves as well. Let me pull that up so we can have everything here on screen. So linked, select this one to work with. Okay. M for marquee, which is your rectangle. You have your little crosshairs. Pull this down. Again, I'm just selecting the entire image, different from cropping because I'm not removing anything. Okay, and I want to try to get that as close as I can to the existing borders of the image, and that's not too bad. Okay, from here, layer, layer style, stroke, and what this selected based on what I had previously in here outside, a size of 6, and this is the color. And just for kicks, we'll play with that a little bit. Try a darker one, try something lighter. And again, just depending on what you think you want this to come out as, we'll try it from her dress. Okay. And inside, center, again, whatever you want your outcome to be. I think I want to make that just a tiny bit bigger. You can see that when I have it on the inside, it pushes in. Outside does the opposite. And center, you guessed it. There we go. Okay. I'm going to do a drop shadow just to add a little bit of depth to this. And the shape of your shadow and the location depends on the contour that you have selected. So you can see one on here, but you can really tell better on the image. Again, how that will come out. And the size and distance I have selected here. This is what was existing on the last time I used this. So not something you have to memorize. Play with it. See what works for your image because each and every one will be different. Okay, I want to give this one more drop shadow, so I'm going to click plus here to add another one. Okay, and you can see that increase the depth a little bit. If you change this type of shadow, select that, we come back up. This one changes as well, so they will, oh no, they won't match. Yay! I learned something new and I got to share it with you. If you hear that meowing in the background, that's my cat. If you don't hear it, it's still my cat. Alrighty. That is the basics of a very simple border. Again, play with it. There are so many options of things you can do. I'm going to deselect what I have listed there, and to add fonts, always add a new layer for each line of text. I'm going to come over here, T for text, and again, you get to play with your sizes, make lots of selections. Your drop down, again, the more texts you have, I clearly don't have that many, honestly. Okay, I'm going to type something. Let's see if we can get that to go. You can't see it. And again, that happens a lot. I like to go ahead and set some kind of a layer style. This is my absolute favorite tool for font work. There we go. And that's just generic text that pops up. You can see that looks really grainy around the edges. Clearly 14 is really high for the drop shadow. And 10 for the spread, just how far it goes from the actual letter. Distance, you can see it drops it from there. So we're going to bring that back because that's just insane and it looks goofy. And with your contours again, play it well. I'm going to take that back. It's a little bit strong. I don't like the color and I definitely don't like the generic font. I just selected it again, double click and enter. You don't have to do it over and over. I'm OCD, so that happens a lot. And again, scroll through and see what you think you like. And this can go on for days. And with that, it literally is just a case of what looks good. If I change this color and that style with the drop shadow or something different, does it still look good or do I need to find something additional? and that is literally one of the more time-consuming things. So yeah, making abs has a lot of parts to it, and they're not all quick and simple, but it is so worth it in the end. Okay, I'm going to try to change the coloring here. I want to deepen it just a little bit. Now that looks really weird and green. It has a little bit of blue to it. I still don't like how grainy the font looks, but I kind of like the blue with that. There we go. And again, up to you if you want to cap, not cap, or whatever your request might be. Now I'm going to use the Move tool. V is the quickie to cheat for that. I'm going to bring this down here, and again, wherever you choose to put text, you can fill up the area, you can add another image, you can change the font style, the size, the color, everything. So we're going to come back in, T for text. We're going to choose something different, and I know what this one looks like ahead of time. It's not a perfect fit for this, but it'll work for our sample. There you go. And a couple of things you can do here, of course, resize a little bit. Now, most fonts will do this while I have this selected. One of the cool options you can do with Photoshop, I'm clicking my Alt key and my right arrow. Oh, and it's not going to do it. Let me try to find a different font that will. Just going to hit Enter there. I'm just going to come up here and okay, again, select, hit Enter to select and make sure it sticks. Find a different font. Okay. Double click to select all of it. Alt, arrow key right, gives you more spaces between. Arrow left, squishes it all together. I didn't figure this out on my own. I saw someone else doing it, and then I watched a tutorial and heard the angels sing because I'd been wanting to know forever how to do that specific technique. Again, this is not a true finished product, but it's conceptual and you get the idea. I'm going to go ahead and there we go. I'm going to make those invisible, and I'm going to turn off, actually, here we go with the effects. Just double clicking again to reselect that. And let's try this with a, there we go, just a soft blue, kind of that gray blue from the background. And again, you can see the difference that makes with the drop shadow. And I want to change the shape here. You can do contour editor. This is a little wacky, but this is for you to create yourself what you want to do, and it will tell you if it won't do something. I said, I don't really see a change that's positive in what we're working on, so we'll leave it there. And apparently I need to stop clicking that. Same thing with this one. I just want to come back to that straight edge. You get the idea there. Now, other things you can play with, and again, anything in here, click, play, have fun. This is bevel and contour. You have several settings. You can see at the bottom, this made a much bigger difference. Depending on the size of what you're working with, you know, that's will impact the outcome. And again, you can see here top and bottom, top and bottom. Just emboss. I use the bevels a lot, more on font work, but again, it just depends on does it look good with what you're working on. So again, everything is trial and error. There we go. Again, I just want to bring that down a little bit. I'm actually going to bring it back up. And I'm going to change the size here of this. What I was trying to do is diminish that line, and now it looks really harsh. So I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. There we go. And hit OK. And then just click to bring these back. And again, the concept here is just have fun, play with it, do whatever it is you choose to do. I am going to do something a little different here. We're going to duplicate this layer. Now it's right on top of it. The Move tool is still selected. If it wasn't, we would hit V. Now I'm going to remember that I had these all linked together. Let's undo, move. There we go. And there we undo link. Scoot this over. Control T for transform. And make this much smaller. And again, this is just for the purpose of showing you how all of this works as opposed to saying, hey, do this. Just a conceptual thing. Line that up a little bit. Again, add some different stuff in, make it closer, further away. There we go. Now you can add embellishments. I don't have any on this one. I will do another round real quickly with these. But again, just to give you an idea, and again, that doesn't quite look lined up. Photoshop is nice. It will tell you. Typically will tell you, apparently not on this one for what we're working on, but sometimes it'll show you when you have things lined up. There we go. That was the pink magic line I was looking for. Okay, this is conceptual. Let me know if you have any questions.